Alright, everybody, I think I've got comments enabled. I still can't see them from my end because I don't know what the heck, but I do have my assistant here, so,
Hi.
um,
I'm still
yeah.
trying to figure out where you're at, so if you can get me there.
Back out of YouTube. I should say back out of that and go back in.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so maybe view channel, maybe. There you are. Your live is live. There you go.
Alright,
I
so,
got you.
it took a few minutes. Streamlabs is not behaving itself today.
And I can't see comments.
Um,
So swipe up for next stream.
hold on a minute. Uh, I don't know. Because I've enabled comments, so at least I think I have.
Well, it says you should have. I think somebody said you did, but
So, yeah, I mean,
be
I'm
patient,
live.
y'all. Just be patient, y'all, just for 1 second while we try to. Well, I try to figure this out.
Let me
How
go
about
into my
that one?
settings again.
Is this there? Um, Shorts? No. Yep. No. That's not where I want to be. Go back. Add. Okay, hang on.
Alright, so we'll see if we can make this work. Alright, so,
I don't want that. That's not what
Mom, will you make sure my camera angle is pointed it the right way?
Yes, I will.
I would love to be able to
Yeah, as far as I
see
can tell,
comments.
yes. Yeah, you've got my.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind that.
Okay, that's my bid board, guys.
Yeah, that's going to be for your live later.
Yep. Okay, there we go. So here you are. Um, but I cannot see comments for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because I have enabled comments. I even went back and looked. Um,
Captions, maybe. No. Share.
so anyway, what we got in here is 4 cups of flour. And you're going to see me do this again. For a pie crust, though, we don't just use flour or shortening. For this one, we're going to have shortening and butter. Shortening mostly.
All right. So I wish I could see comments, you guys, but I cannot for some reason. I am not really that good with technology.
No, and
So,
like I said, Streamlabs wasn't coming up. They kept,
and there's nothing on this phone either.
yeah,
So-
Streamlabs just kept, basically it would say go live, and it would go live for about 2 seconds, and then it would knock me back out. So it's doing the same thing, telling me that it's not communicating with Facebook or YouTube, basically, when I know I've got everything I need for that. So I'm not really sure why it's doing what it's doing.
Right. Well, I was able to like it, and
So let me see what's your page, what you're doing.
just right
Okay.
there, you're on.
I know.
but I'm not seeing comments. So.
I'm not either, so.
You have,
I don't want to delay anymore.
it looks to me like you have 7 on and 4 likes so far. At least that's what I'm seeing. So, and then I shared it over to my Facebook page.
Okay.
I was able to do that. So we'll see what happens.
Now again, for pie crust, there's no
magic.
There's no easy way to do this. You just kind of got to get your fingers in it and hope that you don't get too much flour out on the table.
It's okay.
Because, you know, you need as much of it as you can for the pie crusts.
Well, there's plenty of flour, so and you're going to be sprinkling it down there anyway when you go to roll it out. So it's all good.
Now, for this one, unlike the beef pot pie one, you do not want to add a leavener to it. This is just a traditional pie crust. Because if you add leavener to this, you're going to wind up with more of a cobbler crust, or again, a pot pie crust. And not that I don't know that people love cobbler, but hey, you know. So when you're done, again, we're going to go with the coarse cornmeal, which basically means there's a bunch of tiny little balls of flour.
Oh, I got you in it.
And you should be able to have your flour do this when you squeeze it. But when you crumble it, it should, again, crumble easily.
So what's your ratio there? As far as flour?
I've got 4 cups of flour in here, 4 tablespoons of shortening, and half a stick of butter.
Okay, no water?
Not yet.
Okay.
You don't want to add the water until last, because you want to make sure you get your oil and stuff, well, your fat and stuff distributed through your pie crust. You don't want any dry spots. So, I'll wipe my hands off.
That works.
Do me a favor, Mom. Just so
Yes.
I can see what everybody else is seeing.
Here.
No, you don't have to do that. Set it up on that one if you don't mind. Alright.
Oh, just do this one, babe, because that way,
Okay. Well, we'll
because
put
I
it on
don't
the
have,
doohickey here.
there you go, because I don't have YouTube set up on this one yet. I don't think, but I can find out. Just to
alright,
make sure.
So, we're going to have 4 cups of flour, which means we're going to need 2 cups of liquid. Where did I put? Oh, yeah, it's in here. Again, very cold water.
You know what? Let me see if I can.
That's stupid.
Let me see if I can
I'm
do
going to get
this.
Streamlabs to come up. I didn't get everything prepped like I wanted to, so if I have to go off camera, guys, just please excuse me.
We can still hear you.
Well, I would hope so. Well, speaking loud enough, I think.
So,
Now, once you put the liquid in, you do not want to get your hands back in it. I mean, you can if you really want to, but I really wouldn't. If anybody's got any ideas about, well, I can't see chat, so I guess it doesn't matter. I can, however, see if it comes across Discord. So if anybody's got any ideas as to what's going on or what settings I can change for YouTube, that would be handy. Unfortunately, I can't chat. But again, if you guys have any ideas, recipe ideas, obviously I can't see the chat here, so I don't know whether you can leave it on the live or if you just go to my page and leave it on one of my posts. And we're going to roll this out onto a floured surface. Because if you don't, well, what you expect will be exactly what happens, which is your crust will stick to your counter. And then it won't be in the pie. And then it won't be any good. So, flour your counter. And then you just roll this big old massive ball of dough. Again, we have 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of liquid, 4 tablespoons of shortening, and a half a cup of butter.
All right. So I've got you here. I don't actually have it open, but I do have you here.
Okay.
So to open the app, I have to log in, and I don't know my password, so
Okay.
it's okay.
So
And I'm
we
using my
flour it.
phone.
And again, you don't want to knead this very much.
No, you don't need to. No pun intended.
Pie crust does not require a lot of kneading. It just requires a little patience.
Little patience, huh?
Just requires a little patience.
Well, you know, and also
It's really easy to make.
it is easy to make. And for those of you who want to get just really creative, you could actually take parchment paper. Once you start rolling it out, put it on parchment paper so you can just flip it over to your pie pan.
I've already shown them how to do that with a rolling pin.
Yeah. Oh, really?
You do
Okay.
the same thing with a rolling pin.
Well, I just do it the
All right.
old-fashioned ways.
Now you're going to flour this. We're going to break it into 2 balls. Half was going to be for the bottom. Half is going to be for the top.
And the oven is preheated to 400 degrees.
Yes, you're going to start your pie at 400. It's going to bake at 400 for about 30 minutes. And then you're going to bring it down to 350. You do want to roll it out thin.
Because it's pie crust.
Well, for pie, unless you like a really thick, more cobbler type crust, you don't want it to be real thick. Now, I'm hoping that I didn't make a mistake.
And make too much?
No, you can freeze crust. What I'm saying is I hope that I didn't make a mistake and my pie crust is going to stick to my counter because I'm not sure I've got enough flour underneath of it.
It doesn't look like it's going to because it's rolling up on the, and it's moving quite
When you use a
easily.
rolling pin also, guys, honestly, this one's a little bit small, but generally your rolling pin should do the work for you. You shouldn't have to press down on your dough.
Yeah. The rolling pin I had that belonged to Grandma, it finally
Gave up the ghost.
It finally gave up the ghost. It finally wore out. I couldn't fix it enough to bring it back to life, so
Oh, that's all right.
I finally
Anyway,
actually found a small one.
so we are at that point. Now we're gonna test and see if I put enough flour on it. So whenever she was talking about you can use parchment paper, this is what I mean. Whenever I said you can use the rolling pin, you just gently roll it up. And if there's not enough flour, which this one didn't get quite enough, you can flour it as you roll it. And then bring your pie pan over. You do have to kind of hold your crust to keep your rolling pin from rolling backwards on you. But you just
Oh, nice.
very gently.
Let's see if that's not big enough.
That'd be
There's
big
a
enough for
round
what?
there's a round one in there. I'm just saying if you need to make a second one,
No.
there's
So,
a round one down there.
What
so
you have are actually pie pans, or not? They're not pie pans; they're cake pans. I will put this out there. If you're baking a pie, you need to make sure you have an actual round pie pan because the baking pans they use for cakes are thinner, and you will burn your crust before your pie gets done. Do not use a round bake pan for doing pie.
Oh, so my copper
even the copper ones.
Okay.
You need that's why the pie plates or pie pans are generally so thick.
Right.
It's because of the cooking time.
Okay.
All right, now we're gonna cut the pie crust off. I really wish I could see you guys' comments.
I know. I
Hopefully
can't.
you're hanging in there with me.
I can't see them. So
I do not know what is going on with Streamlabs today, but that's the reason I left Beardo's live early, is so I could get all this set up. And then Streamlabs decided it wasn't going to work. So,
well, it says that you've got 10 people on and 14 likes.
all right, cool. Well, I always said it was either going to be really good or it was going to be a disaster. Now, in the bowl, I have my cut up apples and a couple of cups of sugar, about 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to get them all well and mixed up. And then I'll show you what it looks. Nope.
No? Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, I got a tablespoon of flour, guys. The tablespoon of flour will help keep it thicker.
It's like a thickening agent.
Yeah, don't put any more than that in there.
Because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the.
And that's
The
why you got to
syrupy
mix
look.
it up,
Yeah.
because
It's got a really nice syrup look to it.
you want it to get that syrupiness to it. I'm gonna lean this over here.
That's nice.
That's what you should look like. You can eat thin slices of apple.
How many cups of apple do you have? Or how many apples?
I have about, for this recipe, I have about 8 large apples.
Okay.
And when I say large apples, I mean well, Mom, will you go grab one of
can,
them
yes.
apples over there?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. And how much sugar?
2 cups of sugar.
And how much flour?
I said a tablespoon.
Okay.
And you just layer your apples in.
These here.
Yep, put that
Okay.
up front.
So.
That is a small apple. A large apple is bigger than that. I have about 8 large apples.
Okay.
Now this is the point where it can be kind of time consuming. At first you want to layer your apples in because simply you want to get a good coverage. Now afterwards you can do like I do at home, which is just dump it in.
There you go.
But like I said, at first you want to get a good coverage on the bottom. You may have to continue to mix it up a little bit as you're pulling the apples out. And yes, you are going to want apples mounted up over the edge of the crust, because they will cook down, and you don't want a pie that is lacking in filling. So,
Are you going to add any cinnamon to this?
No, this is my best recipe. This is going to be a summer fresh apple pie.
Okay.
So I do not put the cinnamon and nutmeg in it because I want the taste of the apples to be like biting into a fresh summer apple.
Okay.
And the cinnamon and nutmeg add more of a fall taste to it.
Right.
Now this is the point where you just kind of put them in.
There you go.
Because you've got a nice layer.
Perfect amount of apples too. There you go.
Now a lot of people will do the waffle or the woven pie crust. I do not get that fancy with it. For one, I find my pies turn out better without the fancy crust.
It just looks prettier.
It does look pretty, and if I was worried about making it look pretty, then, but I just want, and then you dump whatever juice is left in the bowl, you dump out into your pie.
There you go.
And mine's not quite mounted over the top of the crust, but it will do. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go rinse this sticky crap off my hands.
That is going to be a really good pie, you guys. Just take a look. I'm just going to show you.
Yeah, Mom brags about me, by the way.
I do. Well, that's, my daughter's a good cook.
You should know.
I know.
I put some...
You put some hours into my kitchen.
I have. I forgot you had your... I forgot you put your towels down in the bottom drawer again.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I did get some, liquid on the table, or counter. So before I move on, I need to get that off the counter because otherwise my pie crust is going to stick to it. By the way, the juice of these pies, if you get it on your crust, you are going to notice a little bit of burn.
Because of
The
the
juice
sugar.
is mostly sugar. It will burn. So I'm just going to do a regular pie crust. I'll show you how to dock it, and it'll look nice when I'm done.
Are we going to need to protect the oven from overflow, or no?
Yes, we probably will.
Okay, then
Guys,
I'll
when
take care of that.
When I'm done with this video, if you guys will have patience with me, as a matter of fact, hang on, I'm going to turn the camera so I can see what's been said in Discord. If nothing else, if you guys feel like just doing a live, if I can figure out. Yeah, I can't figure out why my chat is inactive because I made sure to go in on my advanced settings and turn it on. So I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Well, for the next one, you can play around with it before.
Alright, can you come here, Mom? I need to make sure.
Ben.
I need to make sure the angle is correct on this.
Sure.
I've got it turned back around again.
Okay, there you go. Yep, you're good.
Alright, so yeah, if you guys want to have a little bit of discussion after I get the pie in the oven, what I'll do is I will cut this stream off, go back into Streamlabs, go back into YouTube, see if I can play around with my settings, because I would really like to be able to talk to you guys, especially if you have any questions or suggestions, because again, yesterday Streamlabs worked just fine when I did my live to go test, and today it's just, well, it just is. So
Alright, can we just use this on the rack?
Yes, if you want to, just put, like, if you don't want to dirty another pan and you have aluminum foil, you can use aluminum foil over your oven rack. You don't have to. If you enjoy cleaning your oven, then don't worry about it. If you do not enjoy cleaning your oven, then I would recommend
Well, I'm going to put it on the
using
second one down, right?
Yeah, you want it on the lowest one.
Yeah, because I don't want to put it just right directly.
So if you don't like cleaning your oven, I would recommend putting either a pan under it or aluminum foil or something. Alright, so here we go with the top crust. Again, here in just a second, I'll go back over the recipes for all of these. Just to make sure you guys were able to not only hear what I was saying, but get the recipe good.
There we go.
Again, the crust, which as you can see is a little bit more than what I'm going to need, but normally for an 8-inch pie pan or regular size pie pan, this would be just the right amount. You always want to go a little bit over so that you can tuck it down on your pan and create a seal, which is what I'm doing here. So yeah, if anybody's good with doing another one here in just a few minutes after I figure out what my settings are doing, I will shut this one off and we'll try again. I hate to have to do this, but I do appreciate that you guys stopped in. I know Raven and Pomp have said a couple things in Discord letting me know that my chat was not active. I normally roll my crust under, like, both pieces. Oh crap, Mom, could you do me a favor?
Yes, honey.
Could you get me an egg
Yeah.
so I can do the egg wash here in just a second?
Yeah. Do you want me to mix it?
Do you know how?
And just whisk it?
Yeah, but you don't use the egg, you don't use
You
the
just
whole
want
egg, you just use the white.
Yeah, you just want the white.
Yep, just the white. So whenever you do an egg wash, those of you who don't know, it's just an egg white and I don't know, about a quarter cup of water. Alright, so of course I've got enough crust for 2 pies. So you can either use the fancy tool, or you can do like I'm doing and you can simply take a fork. There is actually a method for this. It helps to seal the pie crust and keep your filling in.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is how you separate. If you don't have one of those fancy dancy little tools, you just gently roll your egg into the shell, and that gives you all the egg white that you need. I don't think you could see it because I don't think I had it in the camera, but
now you're gonna need a good sharp knife for this. I have a good sharp knife.
no, you don't need to whisk that, do you?
I will
Or
with
just
the
need a
fork,
brush?
but I need a brush.
Okay, the brush is down here, babe.
I'll move over.
Down below you.
So you dock your pie crust like that. That allows steam to vent because you also don't want a bunch of steam.
And we have this one, or we have that smaller one you used the other day.
Oh, where's the smaller one I used the other day? Because if you build steam up underneath this pie crust, it's going to blow your pie crust. So, again, you've got your pie docked. You've got your stuff in. Oops.
A little bit of water.
A little bit of water and a little bit of egg white. So, again, let's reiterate for the pie crust. You've got 4 cups of flour, 2 cups of cold water, 4 tablespoons of shortening, half of a stick of butter. Mix all that up until it gets all nice and crumbly. Then you roll it out. Basically as thin as you want it. I mean, you could make a thicker pie crust, and since we didn't add any baking soda or anything like that, baking powder, sorry. Since we didn't add any baking powder or anything like that, it's not gonna puff up. So if you like a thicker crust, yeah, go ahead and roll it out to whatever thickness you want. I will tell you this, there is a limit to how thick you can make a pie crust and still make it come out right. But every recipe you can play with. I'm just going to tell you this. We were raised, told, had it ground into our heads, don't play with your food. Don't play with your food. Don't play with your food, kid. Don't play with your food, kid. All right, kids, play with your food. Please play with your food. Recipes are simply a starting point for a blank canvas. You can adjust the spices. You can adjust what kind of ingredients you put in it to a point. Flavors are subject to your taste. If I ever make a recipe and there are substitutions that can be used, I'll let you know. I will also let you know basically any of it, if any of it that can be substituted. But this is your basic classic American apple pie with a classic crust. So with the apples, that was 8 large apples. I used Granny Smith because I like a sweet tart pie. If you like a sweet apple pie, go with something like a Jonathan or a Red Delicious.
The yellow
Delicious apples.
Yeah.
I like I said, I like a sweet tart.
Me too.
I don't actually eat it, but I taste the filling and I like it sweet tart. And most of the people I know like it sweet tart. If you want to add cinnamon to the crust, you can. Like if you don't want it in with the filling, and you don't want it as strong, but you like a little bit of flavor to it, instead of putting it in the filling, put a little bit in the crust.
Or just sprinkle it on top whenever you.
Or you can just sprinkle it on top. Now, this is as done as it's going to get until I put it in the oven. So, before my train of thought derails again and leaves all sorts of chaos, we're going to put this in the oven.
Into the oven. Into the oven it goes.
Now, again,
as you can see, it is lined with aluminum foil on the bottom. The bottom rack
half an hour at 400.
You want to set your timer?
Nope. It is 3:49, 3:50. So
420.
at 4:20, we are gonna check the pie.
All right, Joe.
Now, I'm gonna turn myself around again and see if any of you guys have stated in Discord that you would like me to try doing this as here in a few minutes as a regular live chat. If you want me to, I can. If not, then
Just bring the trash can over
we
there.
can simply end the video and try to do a live later. Because I really don't know why Streamlabs isn't wanting to work today.
When
But
it did
worked.
yesterday.
Worked fine yesterday. I mean, it took me a minute. But once I got it straightened out and I did the same thing today, then it was good.
Yeah, and
But now it's not. So,
right.
hang on, guys. I'm going to turn the camera around. There's my mother again. Alright, so, yeah, let me turn it around.
Okay.
Alright, so to be able to, actually get a chat going, I guess I'm gonna have to log out and see if I can get Streamlabs working again. So, what I'll do is, I'm gonna log now. We'll go ahead and shut it down and see if I can either get Streamlabs going or if I can figure out how to make chat active for YouTube, and I will come back here in about half an hour. Probably sooner than that if I can get it working. If not, I will just come back live and we'll see what happens. But I would really like to get this fixed, Mom, so I can actually chat with everybody.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, yeah, give me about 15 minutes, guys, and I'll see what I can do. So for now, love y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. I was really expecting more of a live or
Yeah,
You
at
know.
least an interaction, more interaction than
Right,
we were getting.
so-
So that would have been nice. But
so if anybody wants to show up here in a few minutes, I'll either be live again on Facebook or I will have fixed the issue and we will be able to actually chat. So,
you can be live on Facebook or YouTube.
or yeah, sorry, not Facebook, YouTube.
Because
I
I'm
don't
going to
do-
go live on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't do live on YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna shut it down. I will see you all later. Hopefully. Bye.